Hello, I'm Nicholas. I'm associate producer at Ubisoft, and you're watching Eurogamer.
I jumped from the frying pan into the fire as the train was clearly fixing to fall.
Hey guys, Ian from Eurogamer here. Now, the Call of Juarez franchise is a weird one. It's mediocre at its best and it's absolutely god-awful at its worst, so it's often surprising to see that games in the series keep being churned out. Thankfully though, developers Techland have completely changed the style of the game with their newest release, Call of Juarez Gunslinger, and made it into an arcade-style digital download. With only the name to tie it to the rest of the series, Gunslinger has nothing to do with the treasure of Juarez and has no returning characters. I went to a hands-on preview expecting the worst, and I was very surprised to find it was a completely unique and, more importantly, very fun game, which looks like it will reinvent the series in a very positive way. I spoke to the outlaw Nicholas Joy from Ubisoft and asked him to give me the lowdown on Gunslinger.
Gunslinger went back to the roots of the franchise. I don't know if you played the first and second one. It was the Old West. Everybody loves the Old West, so we really wanted to go back to this. But of course, we wanted to bring something new to make this game unique. And during pre-production, we had many discussions, brainstorming of what makes this era specific. And what came up was the stories, the legends, the kind of mixture between myth and truth. We didn't really know what was going on, who's the bad guy, who's the good guy. So we really focused on the storytelling and the narration, and that is what we wanted to focus on. It's one of the key features. So while you're playing, the actual main character, you, is narrating a story.
Once I silenced all those guns, I went searching for my nemesis, determined to finally have my justice.
The inclusion of the narrator gives the game a unique twist which allows certain aspects of the story to change as the audience questions the authenticity of the cowboy's tale. Sometimes they might disbelieve a fact, causing the narrator to backtrack or add details which will then pop into existence in the game world. It's a neat little twist which gives the game an extra bit of originality and humour.
Help? From the Pinkertons? No, son. I had to fight the wild bunch all by my lonesome. As usual.
How else does the gameplay differ from previous Juarez games now that Gunslinger is an arcade-style shooter rather than a standard story-based FPS?
Take cover! Retreat! Retreat!
In terms of gameplay, it's pretty close. We have the classical concentration mode, which is the slow motion to shoot several enemies. Then you have also the Old West mood and feel, like the old guns, rifle, shotguns. And then you have the duel, which already was present in Bound in Blood. Of course, we tried to improve it, so which is really cool is that the duel will improve all throughout the story mode. And then we have new features, so a feature that was requested by the fans, which is the character development system. So here, thanks to the arcade structure of the game, where you gain points and therefore experience, you'll be able to unlock skills throughout the story mode and master new skills that will enable you to do cooler and cooler and cooler things throughout the game. And then finally, we have one last new feature, which is the Sense of Death, which is a feature which enables your character to dodge what would have been a lethal bullet.
Can you go into more detail on how the skill trees work and how we earn points or XP to unlock upgrades?
It's very arcade oriented, as you said, so for headshots, body wounds, or whatever, you get points. These points are also multiplied thanks to combos by chaining kills. So these reward you points, and these points are actually experience. And thanks to this experience, you'll be able to buy different skills, and you'll have different types of skill trees, so you can personalize and customize what kind of gameplay you want to have. So you have Gunslinger with focused on handguns, then you have Trapper focused on shotguns, and then you have Ranger focused on rifles and long-range weapons. So throughout the game, you'll be able to unlock, choose which specialization you want to have and go from then. Then you have, for the story mode, what we call New Game Plus, which you'll be able to restart the story mode and keep all your skills and try to unlock the missing ones and master all the skills you haven't unlocked yet.
The original Juarez games were played quite straight, while Gunslinger is very light-hearted. Why did you choose to go down this path?
I can kill you with either hand!
It was a choice. I mean, From the point that you go a little arcade, we thought it was more coherent to have something more lighthearted than usually.
Graphically, the game looks gorgeous with a very detailed, almost cel-shaded style. Bearing in mind this game is a digital download, has the highly polished look affected the length of the gameplay?
Well, it's funny you say that, first of all, because most of the times when people pass behind the TV and they're like, is this a retail game or a digital game? And yes, it is a digital game. We really wanted to do something of quality. And in terms of lengths, this I cannot tell you for the moment, but it is really sincerely a good package for a digital content.
During my time with Gunslinger, I uncovered a couple of nuggets of truth, little hidden collectibles that shone light on the real lives of the classical cowboys who feature in the game. Can you tell us about why you chose to include these historical documents, considering the tongue-in-cheek nature of Gunslinger?
We did a huge research and job of what are the true facts and the true story behind everything we're telling in the game. And it would have been a waste not to take advantage of all this work we've done, and we thought it would be really interesting to actually give to the player, first of all, a collectible, because all players like to find things and collect things, at least on our side, but and then give them some real information, because we thought it's actually interesting to have what is supposed, because again, we don't know if it's the 100% truth, but what is 100 years later, what is supposed to be the truth of what happened. And it's really funny to see Billy the Kid. You really don't imagine him in that way. I won't say more, but he really doesn't look like what you would imagine.
Thanks, Nicholas. Call of Juarez Gunslinger is due to arrive via the medium of the internet on the 22nd of May on XBLA, PSN and PC, and from what I've played, it's definitely worth keeping your beady little eyes on. It already feels much more polished than all three of the full-price games in the Juarez series, even in the preview build I played, and the arcade-style gameplay is a perfect fit for the short, sharp bouts of gaming that digital downloads allow.
On that very same day, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid decided to leave the Wild Bunch behind.
Well, that's about all from me, cowpokes. It's time for me to mosey on into the sunset. But before I go, please do subscribe to Eurogamer by clicking on that on-screen annotation. There's plenty more exclusive video content coming in the near future, including exclusive interviews and early gameplay footage and live streams for all the upcoming games of this generation and next. Yeehaw, Grandpa!